The Middle East is teetering on the edge of a wider conflict as tensions between Iran and Israel reach new heights. Recent missile exchanges have shattered the uneasy peace, raising fears of a full-blown war. Both nations view each other as existential threats, fueled by historical grievances and ideological differences. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict further complicates the situation, with Iran supporting Palestinian militant groups like Hamas. Israel accuses Iran of orchestrating attacks from neighboring countries, while Iran vows to respond forcefully to any Israeli aggression. The lack of direct communication channels between the two countries increases the risk of miscalculation and further escalation. Diplomatic efforts are underway to de-escalate tensions and prevent a wider conflict. However, the path to peace remains fraught with challenges, and the spectre of war looms large over the region. In the wake of recent Israeli strikes, Iran finds itself at a crossroads. The Islamic Republic is under immense pressure to respond decisively, both to deter further Israeli aggression and to maintain its credibility as a regional power. Iran's leadership, headed by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is carefully calibrating its response. While vowing revenge for Israeli actions, Tehran has so far refrained from a full-scale military confrontation. Instead, Iran appears to be pursuing a strategy of calculated retaliation, combining symbolic strikes with a broader effort to bolster its deterrence capabilities. One element of Iran's response has been to launch missile attacks against Israeli-linked targets in neighboring countries. Additionally, Iran has stepped up its support for proxy groups in the region, providing them with weapons and training. Iran's recent test launches of new missile systems are seen as a clear message to Israel and its allies. As tensions between Iran and Israel escalate, the international community is scrambling to prevent a catastrophic war. Diplomats from around the world are engaged in a flurry of activity, shuttling between capitals in a desperate attempt to find a peaceful solution. The United States, under the Biden administration, is playing a leading role. European powers, including France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, are also actively engaged. Russia and China are calling for de-escalation and dialogue. Section 4, Turkey's Balancing Act, navigating regional turmoil and internal security. As the Middle East grapples with the escalating conflict between Iran and Israel, Turkey finds itself in a delicate position. A NATO member with close ties to both sides, Turkey is walking a diplomatic tightrope, seeking to protect its interests while avoiding being drawn into a wider conflict. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has condemned Israel's actions in Gaza and expressed support for the Palestinian people. However, Turkey also maintains diplomatic and economic relations with Israel, and the two countries have cooperated on security issues in the past. Ankara's stance towards Iran is similarly complex, sharing a border and historical ties, but also being wary of Iran's growing power. In this complex geopolitical landscape, Turkey is pursuing a policy of strategic autonomy, seeking to chart its own course and avoid being beholden to any one power. Section 5. The looming shadow of war, a region on edge. The escalating tensions between Iran and Israel have cast a long shadow over the Middle East, raising fears of a wider conflagration that could engulf the entire region. The risk of miscalculation is high, as any incident, whether intentional or accidental, could spiral out of control. The absence of direct communication channels between Iran and Israel further increases the likelihood of misunderstanding and escalation. Moreover, the presence of proxy groups, armed and funded by both sides, adds another layer of complexity and unpredictability. The Middle East is already grappling with multiple crises, including the Syrian civil war, the rise of ISIS, and the ongoing humanitarian disaster in Yemen. A war between Iran and Israel would exacerbate these crises, leading to further instability and suffering. The international community must use all its diplomatic tools to prevent a wider conflict. The devastating toll on Gaza. As Iran and Israel engage in brinkmanship, Palestinians in Gaza bear the brunt. The densely populated enclave, already reeling from years of blockade, faces a humanitarian catastrophe. Recent missile strikes have caused widespread death and destruction. Homes, hospitals, and schools are rubble, leaving thousands homeless. The healthcare system is on the verge of collapse. The UN warns of dire shortages of food, water and medicine.